Okay, so now let's move on to note card 126, vertical angles. Vertical angles are the angles that are opposite each other when two lines cross. You also need to know that they are always equal. And the better word in geometry for equal is congruent. So I'm going to do this. There we go. So in this image right here, A and B are angle A and angle B are vertical angles. I've had some students tell me that they had some teachers in middle school say this is Phineas and Ferb, something with the face and stuff like that. So if you learned it that way, that's fine. But just remember that angle A and angle B are vertical angles and that they are congruent. Over here, angle FEI and angle GEH, the ones in dark pink, are vertical angles and they're congruent. So this one actually has degrees written. So they're 46 degrees, both of them. So if you took a protractor and measured, they would be the same. They'd be congruent. Angle FEG right here, FEG, and angle IEH are also vertical angles and they are congruent. They are 134 degrees. Side note, this purpley and this pink would add to 180 because they're supplementary. They're a linear pair. They make a straight line. All of it goes together. There's such beauty in geometry, so that's pretty cool. Over here is just another image I wanted to pop in here and show you that not just because they look like they're vertical, it doesn't mean that they always are, because they have to be straight lines. Two straight lines cross. So right here on the left, these are vertical angles because they are straight lines that intersect. Angle A and B are vertical angles. Over here, these are not vertical angles because if you notice, this right here is trying to trick you. That is not a straight line. There's a little oomph there, okay? There is a link down here if you want to go do a little bit more research or practice. So pause me and finish up note card 126. All right, note card 127, parallel. We talk a lot about parallel and perpendicular lines with linear functions in Math 1, but what about with geometry, where we're not superimposed on a Cartesian coordinate plane? Okay, so look at this. We know what parallel means, they have the same slope, but what does it mean geometrically? It means that the lines never intersect, and guys, the lines are always the same distance apart, which is called equidistance, or equidistant, equidistant, equidistant. So in this image that I pulled from mathbits.com, line AC right here is parallel to line BD. And also line AB is parallel to CD, and the markings are normally little arrows. So you'll see we've got one red arrow on each of these lines. That means that they are parallel. That's a marking. Over here we have two little red arrows. So that means that these lines are parallel. Pause me and finish up note card 127. All right, note card 128, perpendicular. Two lines are perpendicular when they form a 90-degree angle at their intersection point. So right here, this blue line and this red line, they form a 90-degree angle, and you see the little box. That means perpendicular. And on this image as well, we've got a little box, so I know that this line AB is perpendicular to line L. Pause me and finish up note card 128. Now, this one, I just wanted to go over a quick example with you. Given a set of intersecting lines, you can find all of these missing angles using the vocabulary that I have given you. So we know that this is 40 degrees. We know that B is a vertical angle to the 40 degrees. So we know that B would be 40 degrees because they are congruent. And then we can find C and A. We know that A would equal C because those two are vertical angles. And we know that angle B and C are supplementary, but you can even go right here. 40 and C are supplementary, so they have to add to 180. So C would have to be 140 degrees, which would be the same as angle A. Let's look at this one. This has some algebra in it. It has 7x minus 9 and 110. What type of angles are these? These are vertical angles. Make sure you look back at your note card. They're vertical angles. They're angles opposite each other when two lines cross, and that they are congruent. So these are vertical angles, and then you would set them up. All right, I had to go ahead and type this out because I'm about out of time with my time limit. But you'll see you set them equal to each other because they are congruent, and you solve, and you get that x is 17 degrees. You can check yourself by plugging 17 back in to see if it actually equals 110, and it does.